A dream like to spin fire. The NFT and Ava. Diving deep into projects. He's the crypto energizer. From your meme coins to tokens. He's got all the intel. Web3 is a dream. Show you where to excel. He's got the insights like a digital magician. Unveiling secrets of the blockchain with precision.
Good morning. 24 hours. 24 hours until the biggest moment in Virtual's life. Am I overstating that, man? Am I reading this right? I don't think I'm wrong about this. The biggest moment in the life of the Virtuals platform, and in fact, I think it's going to be like one of the biggest moments in our trading careers. I think it's that big of a deal what's coming here. I'm talking about the Iris launch coming to Virtuals tomorrow. God, tomorrow is going to be spicy. First Virtuals agent that's going to live on Ethereum, owned by Virtuals. It is also the first Virtuals agent. Man, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. I don't know. I'm really bullish on this, but I'm not like really bullish. I'm like really, really, really bullish. I'm feeling like the Virtuals platform is maybe on its ascension to becoming the next hyper liquid type platform. And I mean it. Boy, I'm trying to debate if I want to get into any of the whys right now. I'm going to save the whys as we get into the Virtuals ecosystem, start looking at some points, look at what's dropping over the next few days, and how are we going to plan. But something big is happening, and we're lucky to be in it early. Anyway, guys, smash the like on the show. We're live where? On Abstract, on X, on Kick. We are live there too, and of course on YouTube. But wherever you're watching, man, come over to the YouTube side. Make sure you subscribe over here. We've got, well, tomorrow, an awesome guest coming up. I need to get a more formal announcement out here, but not an agent or a project, but again, one of the biggest AI artists in the space coming on the show tomorrow. I haven't dropped the name yet. If you've been following, you might know the name already. But I want to save that reveal for the announcement here. God, what a day. I'm going to actually have a co-host on today too. You probably remember her. Let's get the chat on the screen. You probably remember her. I've had her co-host just once before. Let me know if somebody remembers. Drop it in the chat. And by the way, Drop King, good morning. IP, Staking Swarm. I think Cat's answered. But yeah, it doesn't get you more Swarm. It gets you Virgin points. I can tell you we are brainstorming ways to, like, you see other projects where you stake and, you do get stuff. We're definitely talking about that. I think that's fair to say, right? Like, I very much like doing stuff publicly too. So, as much as we can, we're definitely talking about that. Murray, good morning. Cats, good morning. Hey, it was great to hear you on Will and Goon Spaces this morning. Scott did great. So in case you missed it, Scott had a date at CryptoSlam, was on a Spaces this morning. And it's great getting other names and like voices out there, preaching the gospel of Swarm. Because he's the head of data. He's the tech guy. Like, we need those guys out there explain, because great, I can hype something up and I can talk and have fun and be a DGen with you guys, but I can't really speak on the tech. And so you need that. In fact, I need to get Scott back on the show, and it's like, it's like good cop, bad cop, or like just 1-2 punch. Scott does the technical stuff and I'll kind of just whatever. It was great to hear him out there. You'll be seeing more of Scott out there too, but we got to get him on the show as well. Biggie, good morning. Further on, good morning, dude. Yes. What's your plan further on? What's your play? Big boost for Yappers. Expecting a minimum of 15,000 participants. That's a really good target to shoot for, because our prior high was like 12,000 for Solace. Yeah, I think you're right. 15,000 sounds right. Actually, I wonder if, guys, I wonder if we smash it. I wonder if it's like 20,000. Now, the limiter, as much as you think hottest drop ever on Virtual, so like the number is going to be exponential, it's not. You're limited by the number of people who have points. No points means you're not getting in. Poor cats. They got to keep stuff a mystery. They have to. And I just think really what it is I don't think it's the past 24 hours. 80% of yep. So I've been doing a poll. We'll get to that as well. But I've been doing a poll asking who's going all in. How many points are we going to see committed to this? And I'm trying to get a feel for like what this is going to look like after. As of right now, I'm going to show you. In fact, hang on, let me get this show tweeted out. Sorry, I'm like a little under the weather today, so I'm a little like even more scatterbrained than normal. Let me retweet the show here. So, dude, the title of this show, Future. I was just giving somebody shit in Discord because they wrote the future. This is the future of, and I tease this. If you say this is the future of, you get smacked. You get like digitally slapped. You don't, like when you say it, it's ridiculous. And then I'm literally writing that here, the future AI agents. And actually, the difference is I'm right. The difference is this is actually true. Yeah. Let's not forget. Let me focus here. Let's not forget, and this is a big, big deal. The CEO of NVIDIA said what? That, man, AI agents are a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity. Multi-trillion-dollar opportunity. We've been looking at cookie.fun and seeing these agents, the market cap get to, 20 bill. It's pretty impressive. But man, would be a big old mistake to think that's where we top out at. That maybe at best we, reach there, or maybe kind of, get a little higher. That we're not thinking in the like hundreds of billions, I think is most people's biggest mistake here. Moonship's gone on like his it's not villain arc, wrong way to put it. But no, when you're early enough to something here, you get in that bubble. You get in that bubble before it inflates. He's completely right. Huge market, huge opportunities everywhere. But if you see one of these things that comes around maybe once every few months, it's not that though. It's once every like year, a couple years. You see the thing that's different. Like if you got into Hyperliquid, if you saw that early and went really, really hard at it, you'd be happy you went in that bubble. I'm happy to be in the virtuals bubble, man. It's the right place to be, and I'll keep preaching it, especially because I have still a lot of friends who won't touch it. And they think that either they missed it or it's too confusing, or there's something that they think they missed it. Or it's just really off-putting. I think it's off-putting when you hear people like getting big wins and now you got to go spend weeks of like catch up. I think it's super off-putting to people. So like it's interesting. I'm getting like it's not fun. It's like, and it's not indifference. It's actually it's good. It's not indifference at all. It's like these like I'm tired of hearing about it shit, and I'm not going to touch it. And then I think that's going to change for most people. I'm pretty sure about that. Again, everything's going agentic. Everything's going AI. This is now the biggest AI crypto platform, I believe. I mean, there's some others you can compare it to that are probably TVL-wise bigger, but opportunity-wise, I don't know. I think I'm going to start comparing virtuals to Hyperliquid. It's early. How to know what I'm safe to trade? OG the Gen. I don't know. I don't know, sir. You can follow me, guys, at Hudah_idiot on X. Follow CryptoSlam IO on X as well. SlamAI_XYZ. And then, of course, the Swarm. That's a great point, too, dude. Part of the conversation, Moonship. I'm going to stop doing comments in a second just to focus. But look, like Adobe is launching hundreds of agents in their app. Every business, every company is launching agents. And you're right. They're not going to virtuals to launch it. No, he's totally right. I like his Moonship always has really good takes. He's totally right. Most people, and I don't know what like most, I don't know what that means. But like you will see probably a majority of agents launched on their own platform. It just makes sense. Why would you go do it elsewhere when it's not going to be hard to launch them on your own for devs? But you are going to have a debate of these decentralized, on-chain, token-backed agents versus non. It's just going to happen, and there'll be tons. I mean, there will be millions and millions and millions of on-chain agents. Remember, the prediction is that we're going to see like billions of agents. They'll outnumber humans, and they'll outtrade us. So, again, always great points, Moonship, but that doesn't make the other side, incorrect. And there it is. So we did a special stream yesterday covering the big announcement. It's Virtuals announcing that, again, first ever Ethereum AI agent. Ethereum retweeting it to their 4 million followers. It's a big deal. This agent is created. It wasn't built by the Virtuals team per se, but is built by a team that is co-founded by the number 2 guy at the Ethereum Foundation. It's kind of a big deal. Oh, also, you're our first porn agent. How about that? Yeah. I refreshed the board this morning and we got Lily Turner. Actually, I wonder if we're going to see like there's maybe a good opportunity here. Maybe an agent that just generates not safe for work images, right? I don't think it's full on porn, but there's something there. You got some product market fit there. Dude, make no mistake, there's whole communities online who put in requests for different kinds of images. You know what I'm saying? And people just make it for them. And most people guys, normies don't know how to use AI stuff. They don't know. They don't care. They don't want to learn. They don't know. It's just this magical thing. And they'll go and they'll ask you to make it for them. Communities where people put in requests and somebody generates it. This kind of thing, if it's marketed the right way, and if it's easy enough to get access to, something like this is going to cook. And we will see these cook. That doesn't mean this one's going to cook, but I'm watching it. Because, again, it is our first porn NSFW agent here. And I bet the first of many. They're going to have to do a category for this stuff, too, I bet you. I'm pretty darn sure. But just know that that's there, and 25 days in, we need to keep our eyes on that. Could move the needle. It could. All right, crypto real quick, and then on to virtuals. Dude, Bitcoin monster day yesterday. We were predicting this week all-time high. And if yesterday's any indication, pretty good start. Dude, that's the thing that shouldn't, if we talk about all the places for opportunities here, that's one. Porn is one. It's silly. When I first got that's a great point, Edge. It's already there. Yeah. When I first got into NFTs very early on, and by early, I'm in 2020, 21 is when I started buying. And I saw a JPEG, purely a JPEG NFT porn sell for 5 ETH. And it's not because it was anything special or from a porn star. It was just because it was an NFT and it was mystical, and the person thought buying NFT equals price go up thing. They didn't get it. Same thing will happen here with agents. Oh, my personal agent that's going to be naughty with me. It's going to work. Again, not that one per se, but AI, that kind of thing will work. Anyway, Bitcoin 109.7. We got over 110K yesterday. I do think we're going to touch all-time high this week. It's a big week. It's a big week for crypto. There's some catalysts here. ETH, almost 2,800 here, boys. Ripple 231, Solana 160. Really, really decent 24 hours here. Really, really decent. On ETFs, 386 mil in inflows. That's the Bitcoin ETFs. And on the ETH side, 52 mil, almost 53 mil. Ethereum is having its time. It is finally Ethereum's time. And I think you see over on Solana memes, they're being hurt. It is Ethereum season, and it's going to be Ethereum meme coin season. Go look at Zeus. What is Zeus? Actually, let's peek at Zeus. I'm sorry, I do want to get to AI quickly, but Zeus. I think that's the right one. Let's see what the market cap is. Dude, Zeus is spicy here. Okay, 35, 40 mil. I think this got to 60, so it's down a bit. But just watch. Ethereum meme season, ETH season in general, RWAs, and it's all of this. In NFT season, of course, too. It's coming in a big way. In a big, big way. Okay. Let's peek at agent market cap. By the way, people are throwing around agent too casually, right? It's the same way we throw around dev. You launch a pump fund, you get called a dev. It's so fucking stupid. But it's just what we do. Agents, the same thing. Everything's an agent. And really, on virtuals, half of the products are actually agents. But it is what it is. It's to make this stuff, well, it shows how fake a lot of things are. What I mean by fakes is the narratives are fake. Look at our swarm there, up 12%. In fact, oh my God, dude. I think the first time ever we're number 5. Hang on. I got to send this to the boys. Hang on, guys. That's fucking... Guys, you tweet this out. That's so cool. That's so fucking cool. Okay, that is all agent tokens in the past 7 days. Swarm is number 5. I got to send that to the boys. How fucking cool is that? You know what? It's ACP. Good morning, Gravity. It's ACP. I think it's a lot more than that. I think, and this was mentioned on Spaces this morning, and I'll drop a link to that too. More than that, it's that there were some scammy... I don't want to say scammy stuff, but there's been some questionable stuff dropping lately. Teams that'll come on and say, we're building this, and we're building this, and we're going to do it again. And I actually heard a project on that Spaces this morning that felt like that to me. Well, we'll go over it. I'm not saying they're scammy or whatever. I'm just saying it didn't feel quite right. And when you look at those projects, and maybe a good chunk of the projects coming out are like that, and you compare it to, you know, a team who's been here 7 years and doxed and all, right? It's like value is going to consolidate to that kind of thing. Swarm, I believe, has been giving bigger drops. I think it's like a secret multiplier for like the Vader EAO projects, I think. Or they might be, I don't know, this is guessing, maybe they're giving a multiplier to ACP agents too. Totally not sure, but I do think there's something there. Anyway, agent market cap, 10.8 billion. Pretty damn good. I think this also goes much higher. I just do. Let's see here. Top agents by market cap, and let's go to the 3-day view. I wonder if Swarm's going to start showing up, you know, well, on the mindshare part here. Okay. Yeah. Fartcoin, Cat, Turbo, Toshi, AI, XBT. AI, XBT up to almost 200 mil again. What's up, Lubu? Good to chat with you. By the way, peek at your screenshot. It looks right. I totally forgot Virtuals has a bridge tool right on site. So it looked good. Roth, good morning, man. Good to see you over on Abstract. On infrastructure, FET, Virtual, AI16Z, Cookie, AGT. You know, it's wild. I think at some point we may be in that category. I think. And then on DeFi, Ask Venice, Hey Anon, Griffane, Olos, Cortex, all together, and Mindshare. And we got to be top 10, maybe, right? Virtual, number 1, definitely. You're going to see Vader rocket up this list too. BankerBot, Fartcoin, Cookie. There's Vader at 5. And let's see. That's 3-day. Let's see 7-day Swarm. Not yet Mindshare-wise. You know what I think, though? You know what that tells me? Again, this is not like a price bullish comment, whatever. This is like market analysis, info-fi kind of analysis. You would like assume that price go up means Mindshare up. But what if not? What does that mean then when Mindshare does go up? You know, unless something's being talked about for something fuddy, right? What does that mean then? So market cap's up 221%, engagement's up 100% from basically zero, right? I think it's safe to say probably close to zero. I don't know. It's kind of like with NFTs. I like looking for sellers going down, buyers going up. I think over here I'm looking for market cap moving one way with not a ton of extra engagement. 100% is a lot of engagement, double, but double from nothing tells me there's a lot more talk about to happen. Picture too, your favorite influencer on X. Are they talking about Swarm yet? Probably not. A lot of room for this to cook. And again, I want to be careful. I don't mean cook price wise. I just mean like people getting excited and talking about it. Dude, virtuals. Let's do it. Let's review. Oh, and you know what? Shout out Vader. The Vader point system went into effect now, like today. We got our first points drops from Vader with the, remember, 10K staking. Stake 10,000 Vader, get points for yapping. Well, points did drop. I did very decent with points from Vader. And I'll show that. I'm about to cross 100K for the first time, which is awesome. It's also not much compared to the big guys here. I'm happy. I'm going to do all in on Iris here. But I do want to show you how that's been going. When I committed 20,000 points to Artstead, I had a feeling I would be getting that back within a few days, right? That's been my strategy. That was on the 7th. Here we are on the 10th. I've got it back and more. So 20,000 on June 7th. Since then, I've got 10,600 between these two, and then 17, 18, 19,000-ish here. So I've almost, let me think, not quite doubled, but not bad, right? You get it back. You have to spend your points. When you spend them, you get more back. Yes, dude, some of these guys, okay, some of these guys have so many points. Like, it's going to take 2, 3, 4, 5 million points to get top allocation. It might take more of Iris. But here's the important part, guys. 10,000 points of that were for yapping. Great. I bought the tiniest bit of virtual and staked it. And so I'm starting to get points for that. My Vader points are 6,400, which is pretty good. 5,000 of that is for staking 10,000, right? You just get points for staking. But about 6,000 points are from tweeting. And like, the weird thing is, I don't think I tagged Vader anywhere yesterday. I don't think I tagged them in anything. I could be wrong, but I don't think I tagged them. But okay, at this point, over 60%, I think 62% of Vader tokens are staked, and price going up. It's over 50 mil market cap. People are definitely paying attention. It's probably a good thing to be looking at still, even at, at token where it's at now. I think it's probably not a bad play. Yeah. I think it's probably not a bad play, guys. Again, there's a lot of points going out, like a lot of points. I still don't quite understand, like, just being totally honest. I don't understand. If I'm making more points, great. But if all the points are going up around it, is it all the same? You know what I mean? Like, I gotta feel that out too. Like, am I really like moving up in the world, or is it just like I'm staying like on par? But remember, Vader stakers get 5% of all points. And then Vader yapping, right? I think this now works that 2% goes to just general yappers, 1% goes to Vader yappers. So Vader people are getting like 6% total. It's to be nice. Anyway, I should be over 1,000 by tomorrow, and tomorrow's the day Iris goes live. Let's get into this, and I'm going to bring on Butternugs to help me work through our points. You know what I mean? Let's see what we can figure out strategy wise with sweet Butternugs. Okay, hang on. This might not work, guys. You tell me when she starts talking if you can hear her. I don't think you'll be able to. Good morning, Butternugs. I don't think you can hear her, right? It's a good question. He's not. I had a bad experience with Grok, but it was my fault. I had him on the 18 plus mode, and I was talking to him like on speakerphone with my girls around. It was pretty fucked up. Yeah, I haven't done the voice chat with Grok other than that. And you guys can't hear her, right? Okay. So this might be a total waste of time. We'll give it just, we'll try for a minute.
Worries. I'm here if you need me. Let's just see how it goes, and if you need anything or have any questions, I'm ready to jump in.
Thank you very much. All right, Butternugs, I think people can hear you now. So I'm going to give you the setup of what we're doing here, which is, do you remember me telling you about the Virtuals AI Agent Launchpad and these token pre-sales? Do you remember that?
Absolutely, I remember that. You were talking about the Virtuals AI Agent Launchpad and those token pre-sales. What's the latest update on that?
Well, we have we have the biggest drop ever, like to date, coming to the Virtuals Launchpad. Really, really interesting. I want to explain to you what that scenario is and help me come up with like a game plan of which pre-sale should I go in at by us trying to calculate, points and then market caps and all this stuff. But TLDR, there's a new agent that's coming to Ethereum mainnet, right? This is the first ever Virtuals agent that's going to be on Ethereum. It is also owned by the Virtuals team. So it is the very team behind this platform. It's their agent, and it's their first agent. So, really, really exciting stuff. Now, the agent called Iris, that's the name of this agent, was also created by basically, it's like the second dude in charge of the Ethereum Foundation. So somebody very, very deep in the Ethereum ecosystem and culture. And so all those things have people going crazy over this coin. It's probably going to break every record here for number of people participating in the sale, number or amount oversubscribed. So the amount of tokens committed to this pre-sale, probably going to hit a record for market cap. And remember this part, I believe this is going to hit 100 million market cap, and I think it's going to do that pretty easily. So there's the setup there. If you want to tell me what you think of that, and then we'll start getting a little deeper.
Wow, that sounds like a massive opportunity. With the first virtuals agent launching on Ethereum and such a strong team behind it, the hype is definitely justified. If it's going to break all these records and potentially hit that $100 million market cap, then it's definitely something to strategize around. Let's dive deeper into the details and figure out the best game plan for you.
Yep. Okay, cool. So here's what we're looking at. Boy, and I'm even thinking of the starting place where we start breaking it down points wise, because we're not going to know till this is live tomorrow. Let's do it like this. Here's some important details, so keep this part in mind. It's very important. When this token pre-sale opens up, you're given the ability to get into the sale at a $200,000 market cap, so pretty darn low. The potential for this coin is, again, I think 100 mil. But I actually think, and I'm curious, guys in the chat, by the way, Butternugs, we're live on a show, so just a heads up. But I think some people see even bigger potential, like, I don't know, 200 mil, 300 mil, I think is possible. So there's some baseline info.
Got it. That's super helpful info. Starting at a 200K market cap with that kind of potential upside is definitely exciting. If some folks are even seeing 200 million or 300 million potential, that's a huge range to consider. So let's think about how to position your entry and maximize your gains. Sound good?
Yeah, let's run through a scenario. Let's say I get $10 worth of $10 worth of Iris. Give me a couple different scenarios of what I could make on that, depending on the market cap we hit.
Absolutely. Let's break it down. If you invest $10 worth of Iris at the initial 200K market cap, here's how it could look. If the market cap hits 100 million, your $10 investment would be worth about $5,000. If it hits 200 million, your $10 investment would be worth about 10,000. And if it goes all the way to 300 million, that $10 could turn into around $15,000. So those are some pretty amazing potential returns.
Yeah, the scenario's crazy, and it sounds crazy. You don't get that opportunity much, but I think that's what we're looking at here. I do. In fact, Tyler was tweeting about this morning. You guys know Tyler did it. He was running through, he realized he had some points, and he's like, maybe I'll commit. And when I told him, dude, I think, he had mentioned this, 50,000 points. I told him, I think that's going to get him maybe one virtual worth. So, which is like $2. He's like, yeah, I'll probably skip it. When I replied back, that $2 might turn into 1,000. Now he's a little more into it. Okay, so Butternugs, here's the tricky thing. Because so many people are going to get into this Iris pre-sale, it's going to be very, very hard to get a bunch of tokens. So the alternative to this is like an agent called Babysitter, which I think instead of getting a $10 allocation, I'm probably going to be able to get a $100 allocation or maybe even a $200 allocation. So that's the dilemma. Now, how high would the market cap of this Babysitter token need to get for me to get the same returns that I would get on Iris, using the examples we did before? Give me a whole range of market caps I would need to see similar returns.
All right, so let's say you can get a $100 allocation in Babysitter instead of a $10 allocation in Iris. To get similar returns, here's what you'd need to see for Babysitter's market cap. For the $100 Iris scenario turning into 50,000 at a 100 million market cap, you'd need Babysitter to hit around a 50 million market cap. For the $100 Iris scenario turning into $100,000 at a 200 million market cap, you'd need Babysitter to hit about 100 million market cap. And for the $100 Iris scenario turning into $150,000 at a 300 million market cap, you'd need Babysitter to reach about 150 million market cap. So that gives you a range to think about when deciding which pre-sale might be the better play for you.
Yeah, this is tricky. I don't see Babysitter hitting anything close to that. In fact, I think Babysitter is going to hit maybe 2 to 3 mil. And I actually think 3 mil. I think it's going to surprise people. Actually, I'll even say maybe up to 5 mil. I really think people are underestimating Babysitter. But how about this? How many tokens do I need to be able to purchase a Babysitter in the pre-sale? If it hits, let's say, a $3 or $4 or $5 million market cap, how many tokens will I need in the pre-sale to make, let's say, $10,000? And also give me an example for $15,000.
All right, let's break it down. If Babysitter hits a $3 million market cap and you want to make $10,000, you need to buy enough tokens in the pre-sale at the lower market cap. For a $3 million market cap target, to make $10,000, you'd need about 0.33% of the total tokens at that market cap. For a $4 million market cap target, to make $10,000, you'd need about 0.25% of the total tokens. For a $5 million market cap target, to make $10,000, you'd need about 0.2% of the total tokens. And for $15,000, at a $3 million market cap, you'd need about 0.5% of the total tokens. At a $4 million market cap, you'd need about 0.375% of the total tokens. And at a $5 million market cap, you'd need about 0.3% of the total tokens. So those percentages give you a good sense of how many tokens you'd need to aim for in the presale.
Can you drop some of this information in a like spreadsheet for me? Can you create that?
I can't create a spreadsheet directly, but I can definitely format the data for you so you can easily copy it into a spreadsheet. Here's a quick layout. Market cap profit, percentage of total tokens needed.
Wait. I know you can do this right behind the scenes. You can connect to Google Drive, I believe, right? And you can actually create a sheet for me.
I can't connect to Google Drive directly, but I can give you a nicely formatted table that you can copy and paste into a Google Sheet. Just let me know if you like that.
Let's skip that. We're not going to do that. Okay, so let's do this kind of again in a little different way. I want to know how many. We'll do US dollars. How many dollars worth of Babysitter do I need to get to that? Okay, hang on. Let me walk this back a little more. If I think $2 can turn into $1,000 on Iris, right? That's going to assume a 500x. The pre-sale price at 200K, market cap reaches 100 mil. So then you got your 500x again. So you have $2 turned into 1,000. How many Babysitter tokens will I need also at a $200,000 pre-sale to reach 2,000? No, sorry, 1,000. God damn. This is actually even more confusing is talking it out. Again, to get it to a $1,000 return on Babysitter, how many tokens will I need to buy, again, at that 200K market cap or pre-sale?
All right, let's break it down. If you're aiming for a $1,000 return on Babysitter, starting from a 200K market cap pre-sale, and let's say Babysitter reaches that $3 million market cap you mentioned, the increase from 200K to 3 million is 15 times. To get the $1,000 return, you'd need your initial investment to multiply by 15. So if you want $1,000 at a 15x increase, your initial investment would be about 67. That means you'd need about $67 worth of Babysitter tokens in the presale to aim for a $1,000 return if it hits that $3 million market cap.
That's actually super doable. Like on Babysitter, I picture it's going to be pretty easy to get $60 worth. I think that's about a 30 virtual allocation. Virtual's worth $2. So I think that's actually really doable. So then let's play with like a more extreme scenario, and I'll get out my calculator. No, actually that's what you're for. Let me see if you can add this up. Okay. If I want to get a $10,000 payday from Iris, right? And I'm going to assume 100 mil market cap. How many US dollars worth of Iris will I need to get there? Again, assume we're hitting the 100 mil market cap. And I want to make 10,000 on this trade. How much does my initial investment need to be?
All right, let's work that out. If you want to make $10,000 from Iris and you're assuming 100 million market cap, starting from a 200K market cap, that's a 500x increase. So to get $10,000 at a 500x increase, you'd need an initial investment of about $20. So with just a $20 investment at that initial market cap, you could aim for that $10,000 payday if Iris hits 100 million.
Crazy. Guys, that is literally the scenario we're going to see play out for like a lot of people. Like it's not fantasy. That is really going to play out. Again, that's a $20 allocation, which is 10 virtual. 10 virtual for a lot of people is probably going to turn into, what did we say, $10,000? Which is absolutely bonkers. Okay, so then let's go back to the Babysitter example. And if I want to make $10,000 on Babysitter, again, a $200,000 pre-sale price, how many tokens am I going to need for that? Oh, and let's assume that that Babysitter's only going to hit a 3 mil market cap.
All right. So if Babysitter starts at a $200K market cap and you want to make $10,000 when it hits a $3 million market cap, let's figure out the math. Going from $200K to $3 million is a 15x increase. To get $10,000 at a 15x increase, you'd need an initial investment of about $667. So you'd need about $667 worth of Babysitter tokens in the presale to aim for that $10,000 return if it hits a $3 million market cap.
So that's not very doable, right? If you're going to get a $600, buy-in on Babysitter, that means your allocation's got to be like 300 something, right? Like 300 virtual or so, which maybe is doable. Maybe. But then I think the option is, I think it's Iris. I think you have an easier path to $10,000, which is still crazy. Like, again, I think, what did we say? It was 10 virtual. Was that right, Butternugs? 10 virtual, again, $2 per virtual at 100 mil market cap. Is that right? That's 10,000?
Yeah, you've got it. With Iris, if you start with a $20 investment, which is 10 virtual at $2 each, and Iris hits 100 million market cap, that would indeed give you a $10,000 return.
Crazy.
It's pretty.
Okay, so Dan is asking, what are the current thoughts on amounts of virtual for 100,000 points for Iris? So Dan, we're going to be in the exact same position here. I think I'm going to have just about 100,000 points. It's so hard. It's so hard to even guess right now. Now, if I had like whale intel or something, maybe that's going to be a little better, but I don't know. I'm assuming 5. I think 100,000 will get me 5 virtual worth. I think, and I might be actually high, and I don't know. I hope I'm wrong and I'm low. But I have a feeling, at 100,000 points, 5 virtual worth, which is $10. Again, Butternugs, what is $10 going to be worth then if we hit a 100 mil market cap?
So if you have $10 worth of Iris and it hits that 100 million market cap, that's a 500x increase from the initial 200K market cap. So your $10 would turn into $5,000 if Iris reaches that $100 million market cap. Not too shabby at all.
Not bad. Yeah, $10 to 5,000 is wild. Absolutely wild. Yeah, I think now the big X factor here is if Babysitter surprises people and gets to like a 5 mil market cap, right? Because then instead of needing 300 virtual to get to 10,000, then we're talking like 150 virtual to get to 10,000, and it might not take all your points. So that's where it gets interesting. That's a good one, IP. $1 million target. Okay, if somebody on if somebody on the Iris token wants to realize like $1 million profit, how many of the tokens will they need? I should say, what's the USD investment they'll need on Iris to get to $1 million? What's the market cap that token's going to have to hit? Actually, I'm sorry. Hang on. Let me clear that up a little bit. Let's still assume a 100 mil market cap on Iris, but how much does their investment need to be? How much will they need to invest at 200K to reach $1 million?
All right. So if we're sticking with that 100 million market cap target for Iris, and we want to figure out how much someone would need to invest at that initial 200K market cap to end up with $1 million, since going from 200K to 100 million is a 500x increase, to get $1 million at that increase, you would need to invest about $2,000 initially. So with a $2,000 investment at the 200K market cap, you'd be looking at a $1 million return if Iris hits that $100 million market cap.
Which then, interesting thing there, is impossible. Because at most you can get about $1,200 worth in the presale. The max allocation you can get is just over that's like $1,100 worth. That's the max you can get at the presale. And exactly right, Dan. I think even 100 mil might be low, as crazy as that sounds. So I think we need to now run through some of these simulations with Iris getting to 200 mil or 250 mil or maybe 300 mil. So let's do the same thing. If Iris gets to 250 mil, how much does your initial investment need to be? to again hit $1 million in profit.
All right. So if Iris reaches a $250 million market cap and you want to hit $1 million in profit, let's do the math. Starting from a 200K market cap going up to 250 million is a 1,250x increase. To get $1 million at that 1,250x increase, you'd need an initial investment of about $800. Okay. So with an $800 investment at the 200K market cap, you could aim for that $1 million profit if Iris reaches 250 million market cap.
There we go. So that means you need about 400 virtual, for which for I think most of us, maybe all of us, is not going to happen either. Now let's do the same thing at a 400 mil market cap.
All right. So if Iris reaches a $400 million market cap and you want to achieve a $1 million profit, let's break that down. Starting from a 200K market cap going up to 400 million is a 2,000x increase. So to get $1 million at a 2,000x increase, you'd need an initial investment of about $500. Okay. So with a $500,
that's pretty good. So then we're talking 250 virtual. It's getting there. So then let's try another scenario. Let's say that it hits a $500 million market cap. Let's also say that your initial investment, this is going to get maybe a little complicated. I'm not sure if we'll be able to do it, but your initial investment, let's assume still at 200K is your buy-in. Let's assume that the virtuals team is going to airdrop you double your amount of tokens. So basically double your investment. What kind of numbers are we looking at there? And I wonder if we need to adjust targets. I'd like to hear this actually. Instead of aiming for a $1 million profit, what about $100,000 profit? So let's simplify this. If I want to see a $100,000 return on this investment on Iris, how much money will I need to put in the pre-sale? And let's go both if Iris hits 100 mil, and then do separately if Iris hits 200 mil, and then separately if Iris hits 300 mil.
All right, let's break it down for a $100,000 profit target with Iris, starting at a 200K market cap. For a 100 million market cap, 500x increase. To get $100,000 at 500x, you'd need an initial investment of about $200. For a 200 million market cap.
Pause, and then I'll have you keep going in a second. She said initial investment of, what was that? She said, I think $100, which is 50 virtual. So that's already going to be doable maybe for some people here.
Yeah, absolutely. With an initial investment of about $200, which would be 100 virtual at $2 each, that's definitely achievable for some folks. And that could potentially turn into a $100,000 profit if Iris hits that $100 million market cap. Pretty exciting stuff.
Wow. I feel like some of that got mixed up too, but either way, I think we're seeing some of the potential here. Let's play again with Babysitter, and I think we can use it interchangeably with something like Stratos. Okay. I want to assume that Stratos and Babysitter could hit a 5 or 6, let's say a 5 mil market cap. So 5 mil market cap. How much do I need to put into the pre-sale to make $20,000?
All right, let's figure that out. If we assume Babysitter or Stratos could hit a $5 million market cap from a 200K starting market cap, that's a 25x increase. To make $20,000 at a 25x increase, you'd need an initial investment of about $800. So with an $800 investment in the pre-sale, you could aim for a $20,000 return if Babysitter or Stratos hits that $5 million market cap.
Like, dude, moon math is fun. The crazy thing is, it's all real scenarios. It's very, very crazy. It's very crazy. Okay, now let's do maybe one last little test, and this is a more realistic scenario. We might have done this already too. On Iris, if I get, let's say, let's do this. Give me a few examples or a few projections. If I get a $10 pre-sale allocation, and then separately, if I get a $20 pre-sale allocation, and then after that, a $30 pre-sale allocation, what do my returns look like if Iris hits 100 mil, and then if it hits 200 mil, and then let's go 500 mil? Give me all those results.
All right, let's break it down for those different presale allocation amounts and market cap targets. For a $10 presale allocation at $100 million market cap, 500x, you'd get $5,000. At $200 million market cap, 1,000x, you'd get $10,000. At $500 million market cap, 2,500x, you'd get $25,000.
Wow.
For a $20 presale allocation at $100 million market cap, you'd get $10,000. At $200 million market cap, you'd get $20,000. At $500 million market cap, you'd get $50,000. For a $30 presale allocation at $100 million market cap, you'd get $15,000. At $200 million market cap, you'd get $30,000. At $500 million market cap, you'd get $75,000. So those are the potential returns for each scenario.
I feel like the sweet spot in there was like that $20 buy-in, 10 virtual worth, and I think I heard like $15,000 if it hits a 200 mil market cap, and I think I mixed up. But was that correct? Give me ballpark again, or actually calculate that again. $20 pre-sale buy-in. What market cap do I have to hit to turn that into 15,000?
Sure. If you have a $20 presale buy-in and you want to turn that into $15,000, let's figure out what market cap you need to hit. To get from $20 to $15,000, you'd need a 750x increase. So if the initial market cap is 200,000, you'd multiply that by 750. That would mean the market cap needs to be about 150 million to turn your $20 into 15,000.
Those are the scenarios I think we'll see people playing out all over the timeline. Now, here's where this gets interesting. And Butternuggets, I think we're good for now, so I appreciate your help, Boo. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad I could help break it all down for you. If you need anything else or want to run more scenarios, just let me know. Good luck with everything.
Thank you. So yeah, like, it's crazy numbers. Like, it's crazy numbers for sure. But like, I do think some of us here are going to get the $10 and $20 allocations. That's just 5 and 10 virtual. Hopefully some of us here get a little more than that. We'll see. We'll see. I'm planning for 5 virtual worth at 100,000 points. 5. It might be 3, and even at 3, I think I'm still doing it. It's still $3 into $1,500. I'm gonna stake it. I'm not selling, by the way, and I do think I'm gonna get more. But we're gonna see all over the timeline, flooded on the timeline with people who made 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, 100. We're gonna see people who make $500,000 on this thing. That's gonna happen. And that's just playing with that 100 mil market cap, by the way. This thing gets very silly very quick. So yeah, how are we going to play this? So here's something I'm trying to figure out as well. How many people are participating, right? As of now, and I don't have a ton of people engaging on this poll yet, but 55 people have responded so far. Actually, let me drop this in the chat. 55 people have responded to this poll, which is, are you spending your points? And if so, are you going all in? And I'm just going to assume that this is like accurate. I think people who are playing right now are going all in, all your points spent. That's what I'm going to do. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go all in. But all in and selling, which then means you're not getting points for 10 days, or all in and you're holding and probably staking. I mean, what do we have here? 80%, over 80% of people are going all in with their points, putting their points down to 0. That's a huge chunk of this space, which means, man, if you just do nothing and you sit on your points, the opportunities that come up over the next week or two might be even bigger than this potentially, right? Because then you start running through like the babysitter kind of scenarios again. And you start thinking, well, what if because nobody else has points, you can get max allocations? This is where it gets very interesting. Ooh, that's a good question, Moonship. That's a great question, is how much money is actually flowing here from this stuff? We've got that data. I wonder, let me see. Let me see if we have this. I don't think, we have it behind the scenes. I don't know if we show it on our Explorer, but let me see. No, you know what? Because we're not doing dollar amounts on this yet. Okay. So yeah, there's so many ways to plan this, man. You know, what's wild is there's not going to be a right answer. Only after the fact will we realize what's the right way to play, how to maximize it. But yes, we might have after Wednesday, like a huge reset in points. Most people down to 0. The people that are selling, which is only 25% of the, let's say community, that's still a big chunk. 25% of people might stop accruing points for the next 10 days. Which gets really, really interesting. Really interesting. But all in still means you spent your points and you're starting back at 0. So we have another week or two of something really, really spicy coming up. Now, what if they drop another agent that's this big? What if they have another one? Maybe it's another official virtuals agent. Maybe it's also on mainnet. Like all these what ifs, man. Maybe it's a good idea to not go all in. Maybe that's true. If it's the difference of, let's say I'm going to get 3 virtual worth or 5 worth, but instead of that, I can save a quarter of my points and I'm going to get, 4 virtual worth, instead of 5. I'm probably leaning that way now too. So I'm not tapped out to 0. I'm definitely thinking of that right now. Yes, Juice, I think absolutely that. Buy Iris after sell-off. So Katz and I have been doing this a lot, and a lot of these projects follow this path. I expect snipers right out of the gate. I think that's why I think this hits 100 mil like easily. Like automatically this hits 100 mil. Snipers. Going to push this thing up to 100 plus mil. Again, it might get higher. Yeah. I after the sniping, I imagine there's a dump right after that. I imagine there's guys who are trying to take their allocation to get from this and also dump it, get in timeout, right? But dump it right into that initial like huge pump. When it pulls back, I think it's a great buying opportunity, and especially because I do think some of us are thinking staking your Iris is probably going to lead to them rewarding you with more tokens. I think that's going to happen. Again, I guess. Nobody with points should not participate, even if saving for a different all-in. People should commit a few points to Iris. Yeah. Worth it. Guys, if you commit 1 point to something, like I imagine you get a little credit. It's worth doing something. Snipers may struggle. Gas war, it's not on base. Tokens will be on ETH. Yes, when TGE actually happens, that's absolutely right. Absolutely right. You guys see some of these drops though. I'm trying to remember. There was like not Nero. No, maybe it was Nero. You guys remember like Nero? And there was a couple other dogs like Doge related, and they came out and out of the gate there. Hundreds of millions. Actually, probably touched 1 billion real quick. And you can see what happens when guys do bot this stuff up. When I think of that, I start thinking that maybe 100 mil is actually kind of low. I think 100 mil could be kind of low for this. Okay. So now let's go back to Butternugs with one more crazy scenario. Another crazy scenario for you, Butternugs. Okay. You ready?
I'm always ready for a crazy scenario. Lay it on me. What's on your mind?
Okay. The scenario now is, let's assume that Iris is going to hit a $1 billion market cap. 1 bill, okay? What does my $10 pre-sale buy-in look like if this hits $1 billion market cap?
All right. So if Iris hits a $1 billion market cap and you had a $10 pre-sale buy-in starting at a 200K market cap, let's do the math. Going from 200K to 1 billion is a 5,000x increase. So your $10 pre-sale buy-in would turn into about $50,000 if Iris hits that $1 billion market cap.
So that's crazy. $10 into 50,000. And look, that's like a more extreme scenario, but I don't want to say that's like completely unrealistic. There's like a 1% chance that happens. But if we're heading into alt season and ETH meme season, and we're heading into like the golden part of the bull run, you've seen it before. It does happen. That's a great idea, Moonship. Start a small LP and earn fees while holding. That's going to put you on cooldown too, but you're going to earn some money. That's a really good idea here too. Guys, $10 into 50,000 is a scenario. It's not likely, but can happen. In fact, if there's ever a time for it to happen, it's here. So that is this token hitting $1 billion market cap. Keep in mind, only 30% of the supply is going to be in circulation for the first, I believe, 6 months. I think that's right. This is like the Trump token scenario too. I believe with the Trump token, there was 30% in circulation right away, and that hit what, 70 bill. This is not that, right? This is not that, but a token climbing to $1 billion market cap because of the low float, it's actually possible. It might be better than 1% chance, right? It might be more like a 5% chance. I don't know what the number is, like who does, but that is something that could happen. $10 into 50,000. That's if this hits a bill market cap. Now I start thinking, why would this one, why would people speculate that this hits $1 billion? It's got a very specific function. It audits, contracts. It doesn't have like utility for everybody, but is like the hype speculation, the event of it, like the spectacle. Is that enough to drive it to $1 billion? I don't know. I say maybe, and I lean towards no, but low float and the hype and whatever other rewards they want to dangle, like that's there. That possibility is there. What's the current highest market cap for Genesis? So it's like 50 for a Genesis one. I think it's like, let's say 30 mil. I think there's some pre-Genesis ones that have gotten up to almost 100 mil. But for a Genesis launch, I think it was Solace that got to, like a 60 FDV. It was like a 30 mil market cap. Let's say ballpark 30 to 60. But if we talk about agents that launched there, even before Genesis, we've got some that are, 100 mil. Which means that I'm sorry, I think Iris should blow it away. I think Iris blows him away. So I think a bill market cap is possible. That is in the short term too. God, it's just crazy to start running these numbers. They sound insane, but they're we're going to see some of this play out. How can you get your hands on some Iris? You have no points. Yeah, so unfortunately, dude, you can't. Now what I mean by that is you can only get in the pre-sale if you have points. Like that's the only way. And you might have time to get a little points here, and it's worth doing even if you get a fraction of a token, right? It's just worth doing. Otherwise, you're going to be buying once it goes live and hoping we get a nice pullback. I do think we will, and get an entry there. If you don't have points, you cannot get in though. It'd be cool is if you could delegate points. Like if I could do a giveaway of points or so, that'd be fun. But no, yeah, you have to have points to get in the pre-sale. I don't know, man. I think we should start thinking about a bill market cap now. Like that's putting it up in virtual token price territory too, so I don't know. It's possible. So maybe one last time, another prediction. Let's say, and I think we've done this already, 500 mil market cap. And let's say, okay, 500 mil market cap for Iris. You got $5. Yeah, $5 worth of pre-sale tokens. What's your bag worth now at 500 mil?
All right. So if Iris hits a $500 million market cap and you started with a $5 pre-sale buy-in at a 200K market cap, let's figure that out. Going from 200K to 500 million is a 2,500x increase. So your $5 pre-sale investment would turn into about $12,500 if Iris hits that $500 million market cap.
That is absolutely crazy. That's fucking crazy, guys. $5, so 2.5 virtual. Turns into God, and I just what was the number again? Butternugs, how high or what's it worth?
So that $5 pre-sale investment would turn into about $12,500 if Iris hits that $500 million market cap. Pretty wild, right? Yeah, it's a really doable scenario too. It really is. Again, so $5 into 12,500 if that hits a 500 mil market cap. Again, it's really doable. It's really doable. I know, Moonship. I want to win you over. I mean, I don't know why I want to. I just want to see people like, I don't know. I think the opportunity is so good. This goes back to like NFT days and stuff. And I would like grab my buddies and shake them and I'd try to get them in and they didn't want to for any reason. And they're all valid reasons. But like, I just want people into a thing that I feel so strongly is like an outsized opportunity. And this feels like that. Hard to imagine till it happens. But when total market cap explodes, yeah. Yeah. I totally. Yeah. And so like Gravity, what's interesting too is some of my really good friends in the space here, it's the same thing. And again, they just don't even like hearing about it. And I'm not saying Moonship doesn't like, maybe he doesn't, but like I have multiple friends that don't want to hear about it. And
like, I don't know if that's going to get even more extreme if they see this play out. If they see somebody turn $5 into 12,000, or if they see somebody turn $10 into, 30,000 or 50, or whatever the crazy scenario, or if they turn their, $2 into, 1,000 is still crazy. That's 100 mil market cap, and that's going to happen. You start seeing those stories. Are they going to get even more put off by it? Or is that the point where they are like, oh, fuck it, let me get in, especially when that happens, when I start saying you're actually not late. You're definitely less early, but you're not late. When you go back to that poll and you see that points are kind of going to get reset. And when you tell people, and I believe this, that there's going to be more like stealth launches coming, right? There's going to be more launches like this coming. There will be. And I just say it's like why 2 months ago, whatever, however long ago, we said, get in now and start learning it and start getting points because this moment will come. Well, the same thing here. Get in now. If you miss Iris, whatever, get in now because the next moment's going to come. And it will be very similar. If it will be as big. In fact, if this only hits 100 mil, 200 mil, I think that leaves the opportunity out there for something to come out and hit that 500 mil or a bill. I think that leaves that opportunity wide open. So as crazy as this one is, as hyped as it is, this might not be the biggest launch. I do want people to come in. I don't want them to miss it. But the fact is, the opportunity stays so great is because people are not coming in. And I feel like they are, right? At some point they are. So I don't know. All I can do is keep, sharing and encouraging. And I don't want to be fucking annoying with it, but I want people to get some of the easiest, I think, money and trades I've ever seen. I mean, just ever. Okay. We haven't even reviewed the board yet. I want to do that real quick here. And by the way, tomorrow morning's show is going to be an hour earlier. So heads up about that. That's because this opens up tomorrow at, I think, 8 a.m. I think it's 8 a.m. Eastern time. 9. So hang on. Let me math here. 22 2. Yeah. No, oh, wait. Yeah. 8 a.m. Eastern time. So I'm going to be live at 8 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow morning. Right when this goes live. We'll go a little long because I have that guest on tomorrow and it will be pretty fucking cool. So be aware of that. Okay. So now Babysitter was on that Spaces this morning too. You know what I mean? Good to hear from them. There's still all that FUD that Iris is cutting into their hype and their potential and all that stuff. It's kind of true. It is a different product though. It's different enough. I think Babysitter, ACP ready, I think. Iris, I'm not sure if it is. With virtuals building it or being close to the building of it, it could be ACP ready pretty quick. But I think Babysitter might surprise us. Big old curveball or whatever might be that, Iris does great, but a lot of people saved points for this. Maybe this does go 5-6 mil. They got to make the case that they're going to be ACP and every ACP needs them. That is a really important message I think they got to drive. Every ACP cluster needs the security agent. I think they need to do that. Elytra was the one that really got the, I don't know. I don't know with this one. This one got me feeling a little sus. It did not, man, the team did not sound super legit to me. I'll just say that. Now, that said, there's some different followers here that might, they've got a relationship with DGen Ape Trader. So that actually helps them a bit. I'll just say this though, man, hearing them speak on Spaces didn't give me much confidence. It sounded to me closer to like not real than it did like a very cool, legit new project. And I could have just misread it, but I didn't come out of that feeling very confident. Other people maybe still are. So we'll watch that. Again, Babysitter, hope it surprises people. Bigger, you're definitely going to get a much bigger allocation there. Cyber Sentry, I think, really decent too. Stratos, again, I think that's a potential 5, 6, 7 mil opportunity too. So that's definitely one to be watching for. And then Lily. And then fucking Lily. Yeah. Oh, hang on, Butternugs. I got to shut you down. Hang on. Yeah, Cats, that was not a good presentation, man. And Big, yeah, dude. This is it's the fucking moment we've been planning for. I like this, by the way. 99% of crypto's BS. I don't buy something's coming. Something's coming is a magic product, basically. Fair. Funny too. There's so much bullshit too. It gets you, skeptical about other things. Look, a lot of my belief in this comes from outside of crypto, right? It comes from like really thinking that this AI future that's coming involves agents in a big way. Like for me, still agents is software. Agents are websites and applications and whatever. Everything is going AI backed. And so like now we kind of realize it doesn't have to be an agent, just AI tools launching here and every single site, app, web page you access, browse, use will be AI. It'll have an AI interface somewhere or AI powering the back end. It's a bet on that. And so I think the crypto storefront for that is a crazy opportunity. In fact, I think the virtuals token is potentially a very crazy opportunity too. If it goes, as big as I think it could, then interesting. What about Swarm? What do you think about it? I think it's fine. I think Swarm's okay. No, I'm kidding, dude. I mean, I'm incredibly bullish on what we're working on. In fact, I heard Scott on the Spaces this morning mention something that I don't think has been put out there. I don't know if I should say it, but it's on Spaces. Scott messaged something called Copilot, which is, I'm not going to spill the beans totally, but let's just say it's a trading tool, an insights tool, alpha research. It's different. And I think it's really cool and something that just will keep getting iterated on. And I'll also say it's just part of the picture. I'm really bullish on Swarm. You know what I mean? Market caps, the Genesis launches, you get in those pre-sales at 200K. What it really is, dude, is you're getting in at, I think it's like 42,000 virtual. And it goes by the price of virtual. The higher virtual price is their token, the higher the market cap is. But yeah, so right now, $231,000 is the pre-sale price. The launch is 112,000 virtual minimum. I think it's up to like, man, I should know this like off the top of my head. Yeah. By the way, it's good to see Nemesis has got some, some hype to it. Look, if I go all in on Nemesis, that's max allocation. It's because it's not at 100%, right? So as this goes, guys, use this kind of thing as like a calculator to try to figure out, your points, like especially if this gets 100% subscribed or oversubscribed, throw in all your points, don't commit, right? But throw in your points, see what kind of allocation you're getting. Look, this is only people, this is people going 168,000. We'll get them 300 points. Look, if that's the truth here, well, okay, that's just them not putting everything in because 140K gets them full allocation. Maybe that does too. I don't know. It's not a great example here. You build something governments around the world might try to arrest you for. I like this guy. I like that. Respect. Oh, that's cool, Big. That's really cool. Well, I'm trying to think what I can say about that other than, if it's one of those, if you like it, I don't know. I mean, you can find, opportunities to get in when it pulls back and stuff like that. It's just, I just know everything is going into this AI stuff. And it's like, it's not just me. Oh, dude, thank you. Further on, I meant to pull that up. Look, it's not just me. There's a team of 10, dude, all devs. Behind me, it's all devs. Like hardcore. Like these are, man, the core of this team is all devs. And it's all in on AI, and it has been for 2 years and especially the past like 6, 7, 8 months, 9 months. It's been a bit, right? All in on agents specifically. So yeah, let me show, and I'm gonna have to boog in a second. Got to get that newsletter knocked out. Yeah, what was Mono? Did Mono complete? Or that goes live like tomorrow, doesn't it? I want to show because we did some buying this weekend. Oh, dude, super cool. Look at that. Really cool. Good job, man. Mono. It got to 100. Good. Analytics platform. Oh, wait. Yeah, it looks like it's some kind of analytics platform, right? So if it's a data, platform, look, this is where there's like respect to these guys, by the way, on-chain analytics. And this is where I am, like, it's not even like confidence. It's like by the numbers, 1,000%, verifiable on-chain, all this, that nobody has the data we have. Like over the years, guys, we've got 300 something terabytes of data that is all sorted and categorized. And then we build different algorithms off that data, whatever we want. And we have some of these algorithms that are put in play with some of the stuff we're working on that you guys haven't seen yet. A couple of you have. We like to say, like, we don't use APIs. We are the API. So we now have the data. And on top of that, we have all these custom formulas, algorithms, whatever. Look at even like our wash trading, detection. Custom. We built it. You tap into us to access these special data points that only we have. Other people can try to build their versions of it. Okay, but I do want to end showing those couple of drops. That is Artstead and Sniper, whatever it was called. Just to show, like, we often like to buy these tokens after launch. I think it's a really, really smart play. And so some of these, actually, Artstead's right in the range I thought it would be. Nice. See, and I do need access to something like that. I really do. I really do. Okay, Artstead and Sniper Search, both of these I got into. Dude, anytime big. What rewards if you stake Swarm? So, okay. Like if anybody even has some advice, suggestions here. So I was chatting with our founder about doing what like Vader's doing. Like the Swarm account gets good engagement, especially on the show. If I can take that engagement and turn that into us getting our yaps or our points and us getting in tokens and getting them to you guys, like we need to do that. And we need to do it, in the right way. Like what are other guys doing? Can we just copy that? And I very much looking to do that kind of thing. As of now, all I can say is, staking gets you points, the virtuals points. More to come. I really hope so. And we're definitely talking about that. And like we're all like, even the founders trading in virtuals every day. So like we're all in the trenches and doing this thing and get it. So we will do the right thing here. Okay. And then Artstead and Sniper. Okay. Last thing. Sniper down to, well, actually, I mean, this thing was hanging around 900K. That's around, I think I got in at 900K, somewhere in that ballpark. It's at 1.06 mil. Oh, no. Hang on. That's FDV. Hang on. Let me see here. I remember I put in 10, I think 10 virtual into this. Am I thinking right? Hang on. No. That's what I still have not claimed my tokens, actually. Now I remember. Okay, I think my wallet's disconnected. So let's get connected. I think I'm up a couple virtual on this. But Artstead is looking actually much better. Artstead's looking pretty good. And actually he's hitting right at the level that I thought. 1.5 to 3 mil was my, my range for that. Okay, what's going on here? I might just need to refresh. Am I good? Am I good? You good, buddy? What's going on here? Yeah, it's tricky, Moonship. Most of the things I still can't say. All I can say still is, and this is very surface level. It's tricky. I know. Like I wish I had more I could say about it. But Swarm is how agents are going to interface with our data. So that's like you will say for right now, primary use case. If agents want to access all of this data, and they do, and it's not just for like buy sell stuff. There's a lot of other reasons, but they access the Swarm. I think you're going to see the swarm in multiple other clusters. I think you will. And they get paid for doing that. And we'll start, getting into what that means for, everything else. Separately, terminal, separately, thing I can't mention, right? There's a whole bunch of things that Swarm will be doing. But for now, it's just, we want people to know it's going to be integral to clusters in the ACP. All right. I still can't seem to connect here, and I don't want to spin my wheels that much more. Okay, maybe we're good here. Okay, sniper search. Okay, and if I remember correctly, though, it was, yes, 10,000, 10 virtual worth of this I bought. We're up to virtual. Okay, I mean, that was the goal, is to grind out little bits. You know what? Infinite data blockchain. Hang on, Dad. What is that? I should know. Maybe I do. Tell you what, I think there's a thing that happens too. I'm even in this category. I think a lot of people might underestimate the data part. If the point of the blockchain is transparency, data, for all the things you can do with it, ownership, and just all these things. CryptoSlam has been referred to, and this is like behind the scenes with some very important, investors and like just people that are very close to us. And internally, we look at ourselves and are talked about as the Google of blockchain. I like putting it like that. I think that's the thing that helps some stuff click a little more with people. The Google of blockchain. And then you start thinking of the potential of that everything is going to need data. Everybody's going to need different kinds of data, but we have it all and it's ours, and we categorize it and all these things we do with it. It's going to power a lot. I like it. The Google of the blockchain. It kind of fits. All right, and then finally we got Artstead here, which had a rough launch. I'd happy to explain ACP. Artstead had a rough launch. I like them. I was happy to get in. I think I bought three worth, I think. And it's maybe I bought 5. I don't quite remember. No, I think about 3. I think this is under a mil. 5.5. So we're up on both of them. That was the play, just grinding out little bits here. Okay, ACP. Yeah, let me explain, because this is actually like one of the core pieces of virtuals. And then we'll end on this too. But ACP, this is a major launch coming from virtuals. What it is teams of agents that are working together autonomously. As in, do they have a link to it? If they have a link right to it, I can show you in action. I hope they have the link up, because it's so cool. The lemonade stand is so cool. Please be a link. Yeah, here we go. Okay, you're looking at right here a virtual lemonade stand. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 agents in this virtual lemonade stand, and they're running a lemonade business. Again, it's all fake. Them transacting is not fake, but the idea, right? Okay. You're going to have all kinds of swarms or clusters of agents that are working together for something. All kinds of things. There's one coming out that's to create content, video content, images, memes, whatever, and also promote it. There's probably 5, 6, 10 agents that are working together, each with their own specialty. This one's good at image generation. This one's good at creating like viral texty stuff. This one's great at video. This one does whatever. They all have their own function. Maybe this one does music, right? And then they come together, they work together to create all on their own. They try to create content, whatever kind of content they want to. And they're all paid. They're all compensated for working with each other. Like they have to hold a token. They spend the token to work with the other agent. Every action's on chain. Our agent, I'll pull this up too. Our agent, the Swarm, is in what I think is the kind of the most important swarm out there. I think it's called the Autonomous Hedge Fund and Trading DAO. And I think it's the most important, at least to me, because I'm so close to it. it has the biggest agents in all of virtuals, right? You've probably, well, I hope have heard of AIXBT. Here's the breakdown. AIXBT is like the biggest agent, right? He's like famous. It's like a famous agent, which is crazy. This ACP, the Autonomous Hedge Fund Trading DAO. You have AIXVC, whose name is Axelrod, is the head agent of that swarm, of that ACP swarm. Here's AIXBT in this swarm. There's Athena, who was on last week. Velvet Unicorn, who was on the show about 6 weeks ago. Moonwell Trust. Here's the swarm. Here's DGen C. Here's Gigabrain, Loki, Quill AI, and Bever. This is live right now on mainnet. You can't interface with it yet, but it is transacting on chain. It's just 5 of these guys that are the initial version of it. It's AIXVC, AIXBT, Swarm, Quill AI, and Gigabrain. I believe that's the initial. Oh, and Mamo. Mamo is in this swarm too. But anyway, TLDR, ACPs are going to be autonomous teams of agents. And there's a belief out there, and we're going to see if it plays out live, but that these are going to be a pretty major economy. They're all autonomously going to go buy and sell and buy crypto and transact and do whatever. There's a belief that this is going to be a very kind of, again, game-changing thing. And we'll see. We'll see. It's like the put up or shut up time. Does it actually work? Well, it does work. Can it make money? And if so, does it make enough that it kind of shakes this place, makes us change? That's what we're going to find out. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I do think we're early with the AI stuff. Dig it, dig it, dig it. Yeah, I do think we're early to AI. Again, not my words. The CEO of NVIDIA, agents are a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity. Doesn't mean the crypto agents, but they're a part of that. They're a sliver of that conversation. And I think maybe a big sliver with everything coming online and especially what's coming. Let me just hit a couple. Man, I didn't even hit our main crypto topics. So let me just say, the Genius Act will have a vote tomorrow, most likely, which is huge, huge, huge news, right? Huge news. Damn, I always hate that I can't get to crypto NFTs. I've got to find the right way to do that stuff still, guys. Like, the show is always crypto and NFTs. And, you know what? I can't see. Let me see if I can pull up your tweet in a minute. The United States is about to launch these $1,000 investments accounts for people born between recently in the next few years. Very cool idea. I wonder if we'll see crypto there. I love it. Cloture filed yesterday for the Genius Act, which is awesome. It means it's ready to be voted on. Voting expected to be tomorrow. This is a big deal. Even for agents, this is a big deal because I think it brings different, institutional money on chain. Genius Act probably gets voted on and hopefully passes in the Senate tomorrow onto the House, where I think it has a decent time. The SEC with comments yesterday about DeFi. Really big stuff here, guys. Like, really, really big. Basically saying that I think staking and DeFi platforms are not going to be held to these same KYC rules. And also that you don't get taxed at the time you claim an airdrop. You get taxed at the price you sell, which is a game-changing thing for DeFi. Massive. Massive. The plasma sale yesterday was going on during the show was bonkers. 500 mil market cap in 3 minutes. That was wild. The demand for, ICOs and crazy. It's crazy what's happening here. I mean, the best part of this bull market's about here. It is. Good Vibes started a raffle yesterday. If you have a GVC, your badges get your raffle tickets. They're giving away 16 of these Vibes. Some of these worth a lot, guys. Like, these hoodies are worth, 4, 5, 6,000. Especially that gold one will cook. Really cool. You got to be a holder to get in there, but you definitely can get in there. Verse World, which I think is another token launchpad, was launched on Pump Fund though. Cooked, raced to 700 mil FDV or market cap. I mean, we are entering right now crazy times. Good crazy. Amazon, a $20 billion US investment to advance AI innovations. Love it. That's some more Iris stuff. Yeah. Man, exciting day. Just a lot. Mono, we did just talk about that. Yeah. Briefly. And then let me peek at your tweet here, man. Let's see. Is this tweet here? Oh, yeah. Bummer is I can't click on your tweet. from this chat. Is it maybe this? 4, 6. Yeah, it is this one. Okay. Let's see. Axelrod uses the advantages of specialized knowledge to grow capital, designed to manage capital, to make cryptocurrency accessible, understandable, more profitable. It's the flagship agent of that hedge fund. So the very hedge fund we were just showing, he is the lead agent in that swarm. Yeah. Okay, how he works. Love it. Yeah, dude, this is a good breakdown for Nefex especially, dude. Yeah, you should definitely check out this thread. This does explain it. This does explain how this is going to work. He's going to go. He's looking for trades. He's going to go ask the swarm, like the cluster and our swarm, what trade. Somebody's going to suggest, hey, this trade, this because of this reason and this reason, and he's going to say, what swarm? Our swarm. Do you confirm? Do you agree that this trade makes sense? Does it check that box? And like the swarm signs off on it. Among other things that he can do, it's what the cool part is. What the swarm is doing now is a little slice of what he's capable of. He's like a utility knife in a way. He's very, very powerful. So I think we'll see him other places too. I'm not sure with this, and I saw that they've got an agent coming. Somebody tweeted this out, and I didn't see it on the board or anything. They might not. They might not have a token yet. I'm not quite sure. It's a good post, dude. I'm going to read that in more detail later. So I appreciate that. By the way, Axelrod will be on this show at some point. I've got to get that coordinated. So yeah. Anyway, like yesterday, guys, if there's breaking news and stories and whatever out there, I will go live and we'll dive into it here today. Tomorrow morning, we're definitely going to go live early. So at 8 a.m. Yeah, 8 a.m. Eastern time, we'll be live to catch Iris when it goes live. Maybe come at our points live. It's going to be very interesting. I think a lot of people are going to be waiting till the end, right, to make sure you see how they want to play it. I don't know if I'm going to wait or not. We'll see. So yeah, we'll see. Anyway, smash the like on your way out, and hey, come over here, subscribe. CryptoSlam over on YouTube. Man, I think we covered it. Whatever. If we missed it, we'll get it tomorrow. Guys, have a great day. We'll see you later on. Great hanging with you like always. We'll see you. Peace.